Hello, good afternoon. It's exciting to see you all in person and those of you who are in the virtual world. So, the Jack Kent Cooke Scholarship Foundation Undergraduate Transfer Scholarship is a very prestigious scholarship that is a highly selective one for community college students. And with this scholarship, you can earn up to $165,000 to complete your bachelor's degree. And that's with 2 to 3 years of support. So before I continue on, I need to share with you that I am actually the campus's college representative for the Jack Kent Cooke Foundation Undergraduate Transfer Scholarship. And so my contact information is at the end of this. If you have questions that we don't answer during this session, feel free to email me and I will follow up with you. So again, $165,000 up to $165,000 over a period of 2 to 3 years. The scholarship will cover most of your educational expenses, including tuition, living expenses, books, and any required fees that you have. In addition to that, you could apply for an additional $150,000 towards graduate school. And in addition to having the funds, you're going to get support from the Jack Kent Cooke team, where you'll receive college planning, support, and ongoing advising beyond just your first and second year or second and third year in undergraduate. So some things that I want to share with you is the program goals. So this program has been going on for a while. Actually, they're in their 25th year, celebrating this year. The goal of the program is to help outstanding students like yourselves to attend the nation's best four-year colleges and universities. Juan, our student presenter, he's going to share with you all about his experience. And Juan is a Prairie State transfer student, so he's going to share more about that. Other goals include gaining skills, networks, knowledge, and confidence to excel in college. So not just in college, but beyond in your career fields too. You're going to connect with peers, alumni mentors who support academic success and the development of expertise. So again, we do have some other Prairie State students, and we're going to try to get them involved in the future too. There were a couple of others that I reached out to who weren't able to attend today, but maybe they will be able to do something in the future. And finally, guys, this program is going to get you prepared for postgraduate opportunities, career and or graduate school. So that means it could help pay for pharmacy programs and the such, different things. So what are the eligibility requirements? You want to figure out, how do I get this money? So you first must be a sophomore at an accredited U.S. community college. That's you guys, our Prairie State students, or a recent graduate since spring of 2021. You must be enrolling in a four-year college in fall of 26. Okay, give me a second. Someone's trying to join Sarah, but I don't see how to let them in. They're probably not using their Prairie State. I don't, it's something changed about it.
Yeah.
What do I, normally,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
All right, thank you. All right. Sorry about that, guys. So again, you must be a current sophomore or a recent graduate since spring 2021. Um, you must be enrolling in a four-year college working towards that bachelor's degree in fall of 26. Your cumulative unweighted GPA must be at least a 3.5, and you have to have a demonstrated unmet financial need with your family income up to $95,000 annually. And the big part is this last piece, particularly for those people who may have already graduated or have left community college. You must have no previous or current full-time enrollment at a four-year institution. And so if you need to contact the Cooke Foundation, uh,
Yeah.
If you need to contact the Cooke Foundation to verify whether or not you qualify, that can be done. So I know we said hold your questions, but again, if you do have questions, feel free to ask. Now, finally, more eligibility. As a reminder, guys, you do not have to be a citizen, a U.S. citizen, for application for this particular scholarship. And Juan is going to talk to you more about that. And we just wanted to let you know that several Prairie State students have received this scholarship. We've had 3 in the last 4 years to get this scholarship and 5 in the last 12 years. The application deadline for this scholarship is January 7th, 2026. And because we wanted to be able to spend as much time with you hearing from a student, I'm going to stop there. But if you have questions, please put your questions in the chat, and we will be sure to answer them either here or we'll send an email response. So now I'm going to turn this over to Juan.
Thank you, Dr. Spencer. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Well, hello everyone. My name is Juan Romero, and I'm blessed to be one of the finalists for Jack and Cooke. This is a little bit about me before getting to Prairie State. I moved to the United States in May of 2022. I'm originally from El Salvador, very small country in Central America. I'm not a U.S. citizen, so yeah, that it's not a requirement. I attended Homewood Flossmoor in Flossmoor for 2 years, and I graduated in 2024. When I first moved to the United States, I was a junior, and I had a lot of trouble, just equating my transcript that was in Spanish to the U.S. system in high school. I spent a whole semester just trying to figure out what classes I was going to get credit for. So yeah, it was really hard. At first, I was a computer science major. Actually, I switched to mechanical engineering because personally, I just found it a little bit more enjoyable for me. But yeah, I still try to do some stuff with computer science. As a high school senior, I earned some AP credit. This is how I was able to be a sophomore by credit hours, because I spent a year at Prairie State. But because of those AP credits, I was able to qualify as a sophomore. So I believe the cutoff to be a sophomore, or the threshold, is 30 credits. So as long as you have 30 credits or more, by the time you're applying to Jack and Cooke, you should be good. I was a semifinalist for Questbridge, which is another scholarship for high school seniors. I sadly did not match to any other schools that I picked. And I was rejected from most universities that had a good financial aid. These were mostly private universities. I was waitlisted from one, but I didn't hear back. And one of my only acceptances was to Purdue in Indiana, in West Lafayette, but it was very expensive, around like $40,000 per year. So that is how I came to Prairie State. I think it's one slide before. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. So at Prairie State, I had a GPA of 4.0. And these are some really cool extracurriculars and honors that I was part of. Phi Theta Kappa, it's the honor society for community colleges. This is very important because it gives you access to a really good network of talented community college students across the nation. And also because there are many other scholarships that you're eligible to apply for. There's a website, like a portal, where you can check your eligibility for many other scholarships, and that you can apply for. And a very important stat, I guess, that gives you some insight into what type of students Jack and Cooke is looking for. In 2023, 90% of the scholars that were selected were part of Phi Theta Kappa. So if you have the opportunity to join, please do so, because it looks really good on your resume. And if you're involved, it's even better. I personally wasn't, because I just spent a semester there in Phi Theta Kappa, but it looks good on your resume. I was involved in chemistry research with Dr. Shabat and another student. We went to a couple of symposiums. It was very fun. Yeah, I was also a Hispanic Scholarship Fund scholar. This is a national organization that provides more scholarships. That was also my resume. I worked as a math and Spanish tutor in the Student Success Center. I was the president of ALA with Celeste. She was the advisor and my academic advisor as well. The Peace Center is a good resource that you could get tapped into with Jenica and Celeste if you're not already. They have a lot of great resources. And I also worked part-time at Empanadas in Homewood. It's an Argentinian store. Yeah. So after my year of Prairie State, I transferred to Georgia Tech in Atlanta, Georgia. I'm currently studying mechanical engineering, and I'm exploring what area of mechanical engineering I want to work in, because it is very broad. So right now I'm just trying to focusing or getting more experience with robotics. I'm part of a club here, Robo Jackets, in which we do 500-gram autonomous robots that are just supposed to push each other into or push each other out of a sumo kind of stage. It's pretty cool. I like it. So here are my transfer applications. I was accepted into Illinois Institute of Technology, Vanderbilt University, Georgia Tech, and University of Illinois at Chicago, UIC. I was rejected from MIT, Harvard, and Yale. Yeah, and I was not waitlisted from anywhere. So here are some tips for your process. Apply to as many schools as possible. This is very important because Jack and Cooke is looking for people that are willing to take the next step. People that are looking to get their bachelor's and keep going with their education. So this is very important because at one point they're going to ask you, how many schools have you applied to? How many acceptances have you gotten? So yeah, and I know many schools charge a fee to apply, but if you email their admissions office team, they should be able to give you a fee waiver so that you don't have to pay that. Get involved, find ways to get involved on campus. I think that was that's what kept me sane. I have a picture here, pictures with my friends. Yeah, I was involved on campus, and that helped me get connected with a lot of different people that helped me in my journey. So yeah, get involved as much as you can. Jack and Cooke wants to invest in people with dreams and initiative that one day will pay it forward. This is something they told us during the Scholars Weekend, which is an event during the summer, in which you get to meet all the other scholars from all over the country. So it's a pretty cool event. You meet a lot of people, but the important thing here is, though, they're looking for people that will pay it forward, people that are involved in their community, and from their essays, you can tell that they're involved and they care about their communities. So yeah, it's a great idea to write your essays on how you're involved and why you want to help your community. Show them your purpose and stay true to your values throughout this process. Again, you want to show them the type of person that you are. So that's very important. And find ways to relax. This process is very stressful. It's almost as if it was designed to be stressful, honestly. I remember being in the Friday before like finals week of spring semester, and like all the applications or all the decisions were coming out for schools, and the decision for Jack and Cooke, and it was very stressful. But again, I think what kept me sane was just my friends and the activities I was involved in at Prairie State. So yeah. So here's some essay advice. Do ask for feedback. Ask questions like, do you understand what I mean? Don't ask like, what should I write about? I think that's a very personal question, but I'll get more into that in the don'ts. Look for hooks and connect back to them. I think that makes your essay very fun and dynamic to read. And it just stays with the officer. I think when they read an essay that kind of starts in a non-traditional way, and you're able to do something good with that kind of like hook and just connect back to it in the end, I think those are the best types of essays for an officer to remember you. Read your essay out loud. I caught many typos or just contradictions while reading my essays out loud. This is something I learned in English 102 at Prairie State, because we had to write a lot of different essays. So yeah. And then do not change your voice. Be authentic. I think this is very important. Again, I'm not sure if the prompts are going to be exactly the same. But personally, in last year, they had a prompt in which they asked us to write about something or someone that inspired us. And I decided to talk about my mom. And you know, when passing my essay around and just asking for feedback in general, I remember someone told me, you know, this might be a little too common. You know, a lot of people might be writing about their mom. Why don't you try to find something or someone different? But I stuck with that, and I think because I was able to work something out with that topic, so a great essay came out. So yeah, do not change your voice, be authentic. And if you want to read my essays for some inspiration or anything like that, I am willing to share it with anyone. So please just email me or Sarah. Yeah. So some additional insights. I think a great combination for your rec letters is an advisor plus a professor, because you kind of have both perspectives of like in and out of the classroom. Personally, I had Celeste Garcia. She was my academic advisor, and we worked for ALA. And then also Dr. Brooms. She was my chemistry professor. Yeah. Depending on your major, one recommendation letter might be better than a recommendation letter that comes from a professor within your discipline might be better from any other. I am STEM, so that is why I chose Professor Brooms, Dr. Brooms. For mine, just it was the best choice. College rec letters are better than high school letters. I was in between. I wasn't sure which one to go with because, again, I spent a year at Prairie State, and by the time I had to apply, it was actually one semester only. So I actually thought about having a high school rec letter, but when I asked the foundation, they just told me it's better to have a college one. So yeah. Last year there were no interviews, but I think it is if they change anything, I think there are many resources in which you can get prepared through Prairie State. But again, in my year there were no interviews. And don't be scared of reaching out to the Jack and Cooke Foundation. I emailed them, I think, 3 different questions, and they asked me every time. I think it's actually better because to email them and kind of like introduce yourself, because you never know who's reading your application. So if they see that you're showing that interest and you're being proactive about asking questions and all these things, they might remember you when they're reading your application. So yeah, don't be scared of reaching out. That's their email.
Okay, and I'll take over now. I love that we are doing this meeting virtually and also in person. If you are in person, now's the time to mute the sound so that we don't get an echo. Celeste, thanks for the claps. Actually, this is perfect. So I'm Sarah Hein. You saw me right at the beginning. I'm the transfer counselor here at Prairie State. Along with Dr. Eddins-Spencer, we knew all the people who got this amazing scholarship. We gave them advice. They put it together. They earned what they got. But we have insights we can help you with. So we want you to come and talk to us too. Before I go on to the things with the slide, I want to tell you, to add in a couple pieces to underscore some of the things that Juan shared. And Juan did say he's going to stay on to the end, so you can ask him questions directly too. But Celeste being one of his letters of recommendation, it's not only that she was his advisor, the foundation, I'm sure she gave powerful insight into Juan's leadership skills, because she also knew him as president of ALA. So that was a powerful recommendation letter in multiple ways. I do want to let you guys know that in the chat, we dropped a link to a survey. And you can do just two things, which is your name and your email. Those of you in person already gave it to me on paper, but if you want to do it electronically also. And you can optionally also add in information about your major and the next school or schools that you want to go on to after Prairie State. We can use that for follow-up to give you more targeted assistance. Juan mentioned that he's willing to share the actual essay that was successful in earning this incredible scholarship. His contact information is at the end of this presentation. And if you share your email, either in the survey that's in the chat or you did on the paper sign-in here in person, you're going to get, you'll get the presentation. So you can start emailing Juan directly. He was getting advice from a former winner in the past, and he wants to continue this paying it forward. He's benefited from it as well. And just a piece, since, I have gotten to see Juan's essays, his essay about his mother was so powerful. The person that whoever told him, don't talk about your mom, doesn't know, his mother is such a powerful story and part of his life experience that is so unique and so strong. If we were just writing a generic story about essay about how much we love our mothers, it's not going to be it, but it was part of a bigger picture. Okay, now we're going to look at the things on the slide. So letters of recommendation, some tips. If you are a sophomore right now, if you are going to be at a four-year university next fall, for the first time, you need to start filling out that application now, and you need to start talking to the people. You need 2 letters of recommendation, and you need to start talking to them about it. On this slide, I have some tips of things, information you can share so that they can do a better job for you, and also just kind of how to navigate the process to make it work well for you. So on the slide, always ask first, see if you can catch them in person and say, I'm talking to Amy. Amy, hello. Could you give me a strong recommendation? And see how they feel about that, because people, they do want to support you, but sometimes they don't know you in the way that could be the best for you. Be sure to prioritize people that know you really well, either academically, so in the classroom, or professionally through jobs, part-time work, volunteer work. If they've seen your ability directly, preferably if it's professors in-person classes, not online, they just can't get the same feel for you online. Pick people that are good with deadlines and that they're just well-spoken, because that's going to reflect in the letters they write for you later. Dr. Spencer and I have talked about the very latest you want to ask for a letter of recommendation for this year would be by mid-November. Now, go ahead now. The more time you give them to think about it, to communicate back, the better job that they can do for you. Information that you could send them that could help them write an even better letter for you is your list of activities, honors, and accomplishments, and that is in school and outside of school. That you have been dealing with. A good time frame is within the last 5 years. It doesn't have to be only while you were at Prairie State. If you have a resume, include it. Share the information and a link to the program you're applying for, program or school, so Jack can't cook in this situation. The deadline for the letter of recommendation to make sure that they know that they can meet this deadline. And any instructions. Often the recommendations these days are you, after they say yes, you go into the web link and you put their email into your application and they get an email to fill out. Sometimes they are just ranking you. Sometimes it is a traditional letter talking about you. If you know any of those details, share it. And if you don't know the details, don't worry about it. They'll figure it out. Okay. All right. So the other piece, so you guys got to hear what Juan did that put together was successful for him. There are things, resources. So we had him talk about the things that he did at Prairie State, but everyone's a little bit different. We all have our own paths. So this slide that I have up right now are examples of things you can be doing now. If you're a freshman, start doing these things now. If you're a sophomore, also start doing them now, and also document any of the things you have already been doing. Look into internships, publications of written work, research. So as he mentioned, he did research with faculty here. There's also off-campus research opportunities, our career services office, your professors, and actually I also have information where you could be looking for that sort of thing. The purple text at the bottom, anything that's purple and underlined is a link. So Excelling Beyond the Classroom handout is a three or four page document I put together of professors to contact, organizations to reach out to, databases to find like paid research, could be in the area or could be in other parts of the country. And sometimes they even include travel and housing. So look into these things. I'm so glad that Juan mentioned Phi Theta Kappa PTK. Always join it. It is in your best interest. There are some, even if Jack Kent Cooke doesn't work out for you, there are some universities that just automatically give you extra scholarship money if you joined it while you were here. You can't come back later and join it. So got to do it while you're here. There's some universities that their full tuition scholarships or full rides, it's free everything, require that you were PTK while you were here. So it's a one-time lifetime membership fee. It's currently $80. And if you need, actually there's even a waiver system. Professor Andy Schott, and his information's in the Excelling Beyond the Classroom document. If you give us your emails, you will get this presentation and you can click the links. Andy Schott is the person to reach out to if you wanted to see about doing a form with the PTK organization to get part of that fee waived. Being on the speech team is also a really great example of a connection to activities that people did that then were wildly successful with scholarships and getting into really hard to get into schools. We have a lot of amazing student organizations and clubs, and I usually just list the biggest ones, the ones that they can change. The list changes every year, but ALA, All Latin Alliance, Black Student Union, 1 Million Degrees, Phi Theta Kappa, STEM Club. But there's so many great clubs, but those are some really excellent ones to seek out, depending on your major and your interests. Our Student Government Association gets its own blurb, like become an elective student and come involved in that way. And Amy will get a chance to talk at the end again. And if you want to add any pieces of how to get involved in those ways. Volunteering on campus. So Jack Kent Cooke wants to prioritize people who pay it forward. If you are already volunteering at your current school and you document that in your application, that is an example of evidence that you're paying it forward. You're already giving back and supporting the school while you're still here. Get to know and then general advice, get to know all your professors, even if they have no connection to your future major. Let them know what your career and major interests are, and just generally ask them, if you have any advice now or in the future that could support my goals, please let me know, and just check in with them a couple times a semester is a great thing to do. Also, that was all really Prairie State school focused. So this slide is these are free resources available to you right now that you can be putting this package together to become that competitive person for these big scholarships and applications like Jack Kent Cooke. They're outside things. Sometimes we have no time for any of that, Sarah. I have a full-time job. I have kids. I have a brother or sister that I take care of the family while my parents are working 2 jobs. Whatever it is, that all counts. That could become part of your essays or your list of activities. So the Jack Kent Cooke application, they want to know your honors and accomplishments. They also want to know your activities. So if you do volunteer or community service, if you have full or part-time jobs, if you're a caretaker for a family member, these are all things that show you as a whole picture of how you're using your time. And then this, we're getting towards the end slides. So you see there's some more links. These are more free resources of web documents, departments, and humans at Prairie State that are here for you to keep following up with and kind of put that picture together of how you're going to achieve this path. So the transfer planning and event sessions, transfer fairs, that goes to Prairie State's event calendar. And if you just search transfer in it, all the things that I have going on to support our students should be showing up. I'm actually going to click that link. Oh, got me right to it. I'm going to search fair and put a plug in 3 weeks, Tuesday, November 4th. I've got 30 private colleges, Illinois colleges and universities coming to talk to you about your opportunities after Prairie State. Because Jack Kent Cooke, they want you to be getting into a school, so don't wait to apply to the other schools. Like, apply to your schools, apply to the scholarship, do all these things if you're a sophomore right now. But the fair, there's over 30 schools coming. We're even giving out $50 gift cards to Amazon or Target, your choice of which one you want. Some of these schools have free tuition programs if your family's income is below a certain amount. A lot of them, if your family makes $75,000 or less, you might qualify for free tuition without filling out a single scholarship application, okay? So heads up about that. Some also have, it's not income-based, but GPA-based. If you have a 3.5 or higher, some of them have full tuition scholarships you can be competing for. All right, going back. I have recordings. The second thing is I have recordings. I have done events, so like this, where we heard Juan talk about the scholarship and making you guys aware of opportunities out there. I've got about 6 other ones, students that went on to Stanford for free, Johns Hopkins, other students, a student who got the DREAM scholarship for undocumented students that gets your last 2 years to be for free, sharing their advice of what they did to be successful, to make the rest of college free, honestly. Our Writing Center is a resource too. Your essays are very important. If you haven't heard that yet, your essays are very important. Our Writing Center and the Student Success Center on the 2nd floor is happy to meet with you to help you with your application essays for admissions or for scholarships. That link gets you straight to the system to book a meeting with them. Prairie State Library, I worked with them to put together a list of library resources for transferring on for your bachelor's. There's links to ebooks with tips on writing essays. One student highly recommended the one Write Your Way by Rachel Torr as being instrumental in helping him go in 1 month from not even considering applying to mechanical engineering at University of Southern California to actually getting in and then later getting a full scholarship through an outside agency. It was like in 1 month, hadn't been thinking about it at all, and got into a top 30 school for mechanical engineering. Career Services, your Prairie State advisor, your Prairie State professors, and then me, I'm your Prairie State transfer counselor. Go to the humans, tell them what you're interested in. Student engagement, get advice and mentorship from all the people that know you, and meet more people to get more advice from them. All right. Excuse me. This is our contact information. And I have to stop talking really soon. I'm gonna grab some water. I have a bit.ly link here. If you type that link in, the last part has to be uppercase. It gets you straight into my booking system. And you can set up a meeting with me. And then we wanted to say thank you again to Amy. I'm gonna turn it back over to you so you can do any wrap up that you want. And then we'll end the recording, but we'll all stay on so you can ask Juan or us any questions you have. And I'm coughing because of dry air. I am not sick. Okay.
All right. So thank you everybody for coming. Super excited that you all came, got some great information. Would love to talk to you more about how to get involved. If you're not sure if any of the clubs that were mentioned earlier sound good to you, totally fine. You could start your own. If that's overwhelming, we could find something that works for you. If that's the road that you want to go down. Just to plug PTK again, they also have their own scholarship application. The fall scholarship application is open now. It's for students who are transferring next fall, just like this Jack Kent Cooke is, but their deadline is on December 2nd. And it's one application for several scholarships. One is the All USA Academic Team program, and that's the top 15 students, top 15-ish community college students in the country. It's 20. It's 20. There's 20. The top 20 community college students in the country. That's $5,000. I received that at my community college. Geisweit is another one that's the top 15 community college students in the country. Another $5,000. I also received that. So I didn't get Jack Kent Cooke when I was a community college student, but I did get a ton of money from these other scholarships. So definitely want to plug PTK again. So happy to put you in contact with Andy Schott, or if you have his contact information, great. But please come and see me. We're in 1260. It's on the main floor, right as you're going towards the conference center. You can stop in anytime you don't need an appointment. And we usually have snacks, so please come on in. Did you want to say anything before I stop the recording? Okay.
So again, as the campus rep for Jack Kent Cooke, I just want to encourage you to reach out to me. Again, my information will be in the presentation. And just to sign off with one of Jack Kent Cooke Foundation's taglines, think big, work hard, achieve.